Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hi. Another tricky kind of you've pulled out the fire a bit there again, not for the first time. What does it tell us about this side of yours that it's becoming something that you do semi-regularly?
I think more than anything, it shows the character in the dressing room. I think it's probably our strongest trait. There's always belief there that we can go and win games from positions that we're not expected to. And I think today showed a huge amount of skill from a batting group on a very challenging surface, in a position where we were right up against it. Two lads in particular stood up and created a partnership which was full of skill, it was full of mental strength, it was full of awareness of different passages of play, and I thought they managed that extremely well and got us into a position where the game was pretty much done by the time it was finished.
With the sort of uneven bounce that Ben and Ollie got in particular, did you at any point, just looking on at the state of the pitch, did you think it was gone?
Well, it's certainly not the kind of wicket that we expected when we turned up on Monday. It's not, or Sunday night. It's not what we anticipated would be there. Probably wouldn't be our favoured choice of a surface to play against Pakistan on. But I think what you have to do if you want to be a consistent side around the world and to string wins together over long periods of time, you're going to have to be adaptable. And I think today we showed that after 3 days of being behind the eight ball and behind the game, we managed to find a way to win. And sometimes that strength of character is what can do that. That's what gets you back into a game, and we showed that in abundance today.
And is what Jos produced today? Is that what you've been telling us about these last few weeks? That sort of the special innings that is in him, was that the example?
Yeah, it was. It's been there. It's been coming for a while. I think he's that sort of player. You put him in a pressure situation. Look back at a one-day game not long ago against Australia on this very ground. He got us across the line when we had no right to. You look at the World Cup final, him and Ben's partnership won us that final. And it's the sort of player he is. He'll stand up, he'll read the situation and the game very well. He's got a very calm head. And I thought he managed it extremely well with Woakes out there. I thought the two of them were fantastic.
Okay, we'll go with Julian and then John, please. Julian Geyer, John Etheridge.
Hello, Joe. About Jos's innings, he'd had a tough time keeping with, and there's no respite like for a keeper having a bad match. You can't. It's not like a bowler you can rotate. So, what does it say about Jos that he was able to play that sort of in after having a tough time on the gloves?
Shows how mentally strong he is. More than anything, really. And it shows how skillful he is. We read the conditions well. We spoke this morning about having a real clear way of how we're going to play on that wicket and then being confident enough to go and commit to it. And I thought those two epitomised that in the way that they played. I thought they were outstanding. And he led that partnership for the majority of it and was extremely well supported. And you look at some of the deliveries that had gone before it as well, to be able to park that, to stay very calm and counter that, shows the talent that both of them have.
Thank you.
Okay.
John, please.
Yeah, Joe, similarly, Chris has had a few issues, I suppose, with his batting. Just looking up, since that 100 at Lords 2 years ago, his previous top score was 37, which is quite surprising, I suppose. So how did he manage to find some run scoring today?
He was long overdue then, wasn't he? You watch Chris play and you know that he's more than capable of scoring at least 3 or 4 more Test hundreds. His game's definitely there. He's a fantastic... Well, he's got all of the attributes you'd want. He played spin extremely well today. He's very clear how he wanted to go and play Yasir in particular, and I thought he managed to seam us very well on a tricky wicket. As I said, having seen those deliveries beforehand, to be able to park that, to have the presence of mind to stay slightly more leg side of the ball and trust his hands, just shows that, again, his experience over time in international cricket has really paid off.
I mean, he's had a few issues with the short ball, I suppose. I mean, he was hit on the head in the first innings here, wasn't he? But I guess he managed to put that out of his mind.
Yeah, and an innings like this can give you so much confidence moving forward, and I think that he'll take that forward into the rest of this summer and beyond. Hopefully, when you're not at the end of the game, that's what you dream of as a batter or as an all-rounder, is making sure you're there and you win for your team. And for him, I think this will be huge. To be able to say he's dealt with the extremities that wicket provided and come out with a win is. Well, I think it will give him so much confidence moving forward with his batting.
Cheers, thanks.
George, please. George the Bell.
Good day, Joe. Chris, there's a danger that Chris, I'm sure not by you guys, but there's a danger that Chris Woakes, I guess, could get overlooked because, Ben Stokes an incredible rounder, Ted Jones an incredible swing bowler. But what do you think he brings to the squad? And even on those times when he's, been unfortunate to be left out, he's an incredibly good player. Be left out, isn't he, so often? So what does he bring to the squad when he's in the team and not in the team?
Well, as I said, he's so consistent. On and off the field, you watch his performances. He generally is very consistent. He's very reliable. Mentioned it in the Test match when we were talking about Ben. He's Mr. Dependable. He's someone that you can always trust that he will deliver exactly what you want. And I think actually over time and over the last couple of years in particular, he's improving and he's become even more consistent. And his bowling's almost another level this last year. Again, a bit more exposure. I think he got a lot of confidence from performing well in abroad this winter. And his record at home speaks for itself. But you look at the competition for places, you could say that about anyone in terms of our bowling department. There's so many guys that continually put their hands up. It's always going to be a headache. But one thing you're going to get from Chris is consistency in the way he handles himself in and around the dressing room and his performances out on the field.
Thanks, George. Will McPherson and then Tim Wigmore.
Joe, you went with 4 specialist quicks in this game, and Ben played as a batsman until deep on day 3. Where are you looking ahead to Thursday? You've called up Ollie Robinson. Do you expect everyone to be fit? Are you going to have to be quite cute with how you juggle things? And I suppose, does the extra day help with the 4-day test?
The extra day definitely will help. I think we'll have to be quite smart as we were in the previous series, and we'll have to see how everyone pulls up. But thankfully we have got an extra day, and that might give us more options. But as I mentioned just now, we are in such a good position that there's so many great options. Feel that all bases will be covered, and we should have a very strong side, whoever it is and whatever the makeup is, when we start the Test match down in Southampton.
Tim Wigmore, please.
Hi, Joe. Just on Jos, if you his Test record when he bats at 6 is quite a lot better than when he bats at 7. I just wondered if you had any theory on what that might be, and does he kind of step up with the extra responsibility?
I think it's hard to say, to be honest. I think one thing that I want to echo is how well he played today. The pressure that he probably put himself under more than anything, and that you find yourself in, is being able to manage that as well as he did today was